Okay, so let's start. Make sure that you've got your blanket or cushion to sit on and blocks handy, or substitute props. Books are good, nice big thick books, and a strap. So if you don't have a strap, you can actually use a towel or tie, anything that you've got that would work quite well as a strap. So let's begin. Now remember, if you feel like you need a little bit more support in your back, then you can always sit against the wall or back of the couch or somewhere where you feel comfortable being a little bit more supported. Cross-legged position if possible, and just prop yourself up as much as you need to if you feel like you need to get a little bit more height. Opposite leg is in front to what you automatically cross your legs. So we can either place the hands, backs of the hands on the thighs, index finger, thumb touching, which is Yana Mudra, or we have the right hand in the left palm, thumbs lightly touching. So let's close our eyes and let's begin. First of all, as we do at the beginning of every practice, let's first of all begin to connect to our breath, to our Ujjayi breath. Remember, Ujjayi means victorious breath. So let's connect to our breath. And you want to, remember, you want to be able to hear the sound of your breath. So it's a very slight rasping sound. And if you haven't quite got it yet, then practice with your mouth slightly open. Breathing into the back of your throat, you might get a little bit of a tickle. And then breathing out from that same point. So you can do this for a few rounds in and out of the mouth if you haven't quite got the sound of your Ujjayi breath with your mouth closed. So that's always a good technique to come back to. So choosing your option now, either mouth slightly parted or coming straight into it, breathing in through the nostrils into the back of the throat and breathing out from the back of the throat back out through the nostrils. So straight away you can hear the sound of your breath, and you can also hear the quality of your breath. How does the quality of your breath sound? Is it smooth on the inhale, or is it a little bit short, a little bit shallow, a little bit stressed? And then how does it sound on the exhalation? So we're just going to sit here observing the sound and quality of our breath and observing how our body's feeling today, our energy levels, any tension, areas of tension in our body, especially through the eye muscles, relaxing this part of your face, jaw muscles, softening. So just think, when you breathe in, think about creating as much space, openness, energy, lightness in the body as you can. And then on every exhale, you're just drawing everything into your center and relaxing into it, into that space. So you're breathing in, creating the space, sending it out in all directions, and then on the exhalation, bringing it back into your core and relaxing into that space. And feel free to place your right hand on your belly, pushing the hand away with your belly on the inhale and gently drawing the belly back on the exhale. So this is quite a nice option sometimes. Or you might even start to bring the arms out on the inhale and in on the exhale. So there's lots of little techniques that you can apply. Breathing in, creating space, expansion, and exhale, drawing that energy in. Bringing the palms together in front of our Anahata chakra. Let's take a nice deep inhale here. And namaste. And let's get started in week 4. Okay, let's part or take the cushion away or blanket. Now, you can choose to have music, your own music on in the background. I like to have a little bit of music. With the Zoom situation, I need to turn it up pretty loud for you to even hear, and the quality is not that great. So I'm just going to have it on just enough so I can hear it. And then, like I said, if you've got a nice playlist that you want to put on for your own practice, then that's a good idea. Okay, so let's start. Let's come onto the hands and knees. Spread through the fingers. So just grounding down here, and let's start to warm the body up. So we'll start with the spine, pelvis, and shoulders. So let's first of all do our cat and cow. So we drop the belly down, we lift out of the shoulders, we look forwards or slightly up. And then on the exhale, we close the body, we start from our belly button and we round through the spine, chin to the chest. Inhale, let's do the same, drop the belly. Lift out of the shoulders, start from the belly button, sucking it back, rounding through the spine, chin to the chest. Inhale, long, smooth breath. Exhale, suck the belly button back, rounding, pushing into the back, chin down. And again, inhale. And draw the belly button back, exhale. So let's add on, let's inhale, take the right leg up. Keep the shoulders broad, arms straight. Exhale, bring the knee in as far as you can. Round through the spine. And let's inhale. Exhale, knee in. Inhale. Exhale, knee in. And one more, breathing in. And exhale, bringing the knee in. Now let's push into that right heel. Turn the toes down so your hip is down, sacrum flat. Now if your balance is a little bit wobbly, then keep both hands on the floor and just focus on extending into that right leg as much as you can. If you feel pretty good with your balance, take the weight into that right hand. So the wrist is under the shoulder and we reach the left arm forwards. And the palms turned in so that you can pull the front shoulder back. So let's look down now, reaching out through the back of the heel, reaching out through the fingertips. Listening to the sound of your breath, which is nice and steady. And just be aware that you're not collapsing into that right shoulder, so lifting out of the shoulder. Okay, now let's bend the back leg and reach back with your opposite hand. So right leg, left hand, kicking the foot away. Again, lifting out of the right shoulder. If this is a little bit challenging for you, just stay in the original position with the leg straight and the arm forwards or on the floor. Okay, let's release that top leg, place the left hand down, turn the bottom foot to the side. And you need to do this because if you don't, it's going to be a lot more challenging for you to balance. So that bottom wrist is under the shoulder, we lift out of the shoulder, we look back, we see that our back leg is at hip height. And then we reach this top arm up to the ceiling, looking up or sideways or down to the floor again, keeping the power and energy moving through that top leg, light through the fingertips. If it's challenging for you to look up, just look sideways. So you want to keep the neck straight. Okay, or look down at the floor. And you can always rest this top hand on the hip if you're working with shoulder issues or injuries. So let's bend the leg, take hold of the foot, and kick the foot away, opening up a little bit more through the front of the body. Again, if this is too strong, you come back into this position and you might even rest the leg for a moment and then bring it back up. So make sure that you choose the option that works best for you. This is important. Don't compromise the breath. Stretch up and let's exhale back to all fours. Inhale, looking forwards or up. Drop the belly and then draw the belly button back, rounding through the spine, chin to the chest, and then let's lean forwards into the shoulders. So keeping the chin down, leaning slightly forwards, getting a really nice stretch through the neck, shoulders, shoulder blades. And let's do the opposite again, drop the belly. And exhale, drawing the belly button back, squeezing the belly in. Now let's inhale. We do the other side now. We take the left leg up. Arms are straight. Exhale, bringing the knee in as close as you can, rounding through the spine. Inhale, take the leg up. Long, smooth breaths. Exhale. Inhale. Smooth, relaxed, fluid. Okay, now let's push into that left leg. Toes are turned down, leg is strong, left wrist is under the shoulder, and we reach the right arm forwards. If it's too much, place the right hand on the floor. And lift out of that left shoulder. Keep the power in the back leg. Reach through the fingers. Okay, let's reach back if you can, otherwise stay where you are. Reach back and take hold of the foot, and let's kick the foot away. So opposite hand, opposite leg. Otherwise, stay in the original position. You can see the back of my neck is long again. And I'm lifting out of that right shoulder, left shoulder. Keep trying to take the heel away from the buttocks if you're in this position. So you're keeping that leg active. Okay, let's release the foot. Place the hand down. Now we turn this bottom foot out to the side. So I will have my back to you for a moment. Look back at your left leg. Make sure that it's straight back from the hip and at hip height. Reach the hand up to the ceiling. Keep the power in that left leg. Lifting out of the right shoulder. Now either stay here or reach back and take hold of the foot and kick the foot away. And now let's release that foot. Come back onto all fours. Inhale, looking forwards, drop the belly, lift out of the shoulders. Exhale, start from your belly button, rounding through the spine, chin to the chest, leaning slightly forward. Inhale, dropping the belly. Now exhale, we place the buttocks back on the heels. Remember our downward dog measurement, reach the hands forwards. Inhale, let's come up, hands shoulder width apart, pushing into the base of the fingers. Tuck the toes under, let's broaden through the shoulders again, taking the buttocks to the ceiling. So keep the legs bent to begin with and focus on getting your spine nice and straight and a little bit of opening through the shoulders. Let the head relax. There's no tension through the neck, shoulders. Breathe here. Look for as much length as you can through the spine, through your arms, through the neck. And let's come to the knees. So let's do it again. Inhale, drop the belly, looking forwards or up. Exhale, this time let's walk the legs out on the spot. Taking one heel down to the floor at a time. And you might shift the hips from one side to the other, just loosening up. Stretching out, rest on the knees whenever you need to. Go. Coming to the knees. Inhale, gently looking forwards or up, shoulders broad. Push into the base of the fingers. Like I said, this is important. Otherwise, you're going to take lots of stress and strain through your wrist joints. Now let's work the heels down. Try and lift the toes up. Those of you with slightly tighter hamstrings, bend your legs a little bit and focus more on taking the buttocks to the ceiling and straightening through the spine. Okay, let's walk the feet to the hands or to the middle of your mat, front of your mat, and let's hang forwards. Hold on to your elbows. And gently swing from side to side if that's comfortable. Just stretching out the back, ragdoll completely. Stretch out the back, hamstrings. And if you find that this is too much for your back, you might rest the forearms on the knees, which are bent, just for a little bit more support. So remember, when we practice yoga, it's all about the breath. Don't worry about the stretches, the asanas, we call them postures. Don't get too caught up in what you can do or what you can't do on a physical level. It's all about creating and developing peace of mind, being happy where you're at, where you are. Listen to your breath. Okay, let's release the hands down to the floor, bend the legs and roll the body up. So slowly rolling up here, pushing down through the feet, reaching the arms up, embracing the breath, and exhale, bring the hands down the front and we bring our feet together, starting from the front of our mats. Okay, always start with your feet together, lift the toes up, palms together. So, saluting the sun 2 times. Surya Namaskar B. Let's follow the breath. No effort, reach the arms up. Breathing in through the nose. Exhale through the nose, reaching out through the fingertips, folding forwards. Relax. Inhale, lift up to halfway. So the spine is straight. Stick your buttocks, chest out. Chin down. Exhale. Let's fold forwards and step back into our first downward dog. Inhale, come into plank position. Squeeze the buttocks, draw the belly in, lengthen out of the spine, out of the crown of the head. Belly strong, strong legs. Hold it here for a moment. Bend the knees if it's too much. And then everyone, place the knees on the floor. Turn the inside of the elbows forwards. You're either doing a half push-up or you're leading with your hips. So coming down, rest on the floor, and let's place the hands under the shoulders unless you're on your forearms. And we're going to roll the shoulders back, lifting the chest out of the arms, squeeze the buttocks, gazes slightly forwards or up. So if you're on your hands, same position, you might come up a little bit higher depending on your back. Elbows in. Coming down. Exhale, bring the hands back, pushing back. So either stay on the hands and knees here or come into downward dog. And let's step the right foot forwards in between the hands. So if you need to again, left foot on the left knee on the floor, right foot forwards. Reaching the arms up. Back knee can be off the floor if you like. And just check in with that front foot. Make sure that the ankle is under the knee. Lifting out of the lumbar again. Arms are up if this works for your shoulders. Otherwise, out to the side or on the hips. So remember these options, and then you can work with which ones work with you better or suit you better. Exhale. Downward dog again, or stay on your hands and knees. Inhale, plank position. Squeeze the buttocks, draw the belly in. Chaturanga, straight legs or knees to the floor, elbows in, coming down. Inhale, hands under the shoulders, roll the shoulders back. Squeeze the buttocks and legs, looking forwards or up. Shoulders down, and let's exhale, come down. Coming back. Stay on the hands and knees here or straight into downward dog. And we step the left foot forwards in between the hands. See if you can do it in one go. Ankle under the knee. Inhale, reach up. So choose your options. Exhale here. Step the back foot to the front, both feet together. Let's relax. Inhale, lifting up to halfway. Spine straight, fingers on the floor or knees. Exhale, fold forwards. Bend the legs, pushing down as you lift up, embracing the breath here, And exhale, hands down the front. Good, that's one. So we're going to do one more, and then we're going to break down, I'm going to break down the planks and chaturangas and upward dogs. So let's do one more. I'll do it sideways. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forwards, bowing down. Moving beyond your ego. Inhale, lifting up, spine straight. Exhale, stepping back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Or on your hands and knees. Inhale, plank position. Squeeze the buttocks, draw the belly in. Strong legs. Exhale, knees to the floor, elbows in, coming down. Hands under the shoulders, roll the shoulders back, squeeze the buttocks, coming up. Or you might be on your forearms. Exhale, pushing back. Stay on the knees or downward dog. And let's step the right foot forwards in between the hands. Ankle under the knee, reaching up. Getting a little bit more of a flow. Exhale, hands and knees or downward dog. Plank. Slowly, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward dog, or cobra at this stage. And exhale, knees, downward dog. And left foot forwards. Back knee on or off the floor, reaching up. So remember your arm options as well. This position, or hands on the hips. And let's exhale. We'll step back into downward dog now. Go. And then we'll come onto the knees. And just look at the video. Look in this direction. So now I'm going to introduce to you straight-legged chaturanga and upward dog. So basically the difference between upward dog and cobra is cobra, thighs are on the floor. Upward dog, legs, thighs are off the floor. So thighs, knees off the floor. So I'll just demonstrate the two. So the first one, plank, what we've been doing, knees to the floor. So the easier one, gently bringing the hips forwards, elbows in, coming down to the floor. You're either on your forearms here, rolling the shoulders back, so you're pinning the shoulder blades into the back, squeezing the buttocks, looking forwards or up. Or you're on your hands. And for some, this is far enough. Okay, others can go a little bit further. You can see my legs are on the floor. Okay, that's cobra, half chaturanga, cobra. This is full chaturanga, plank position. Now we slowly, without dropping the hips, we slowly lower down. We don't rest on the floor. We push back slightly and then we push over and roll over the toes and we come into upward dog. So my heels are turned in, my legs are strong, I'm lifting out of the shoulders. And then when I come back, I draw my belly back to support my back, my lumbar, and I roll back over into downward dog. Okay, so you'll know straight away whether you're ready for it or not, just by watching. So I'll do it one more time. Plank. Without dropping the hips, elbows in, chaturanga. Rolling over the toes, legs off the floor, heels in, drishti up. Draw the belly back, rolling back over the toes, downward dog. All right, that is the difference. So we'll do one more. Actually, we'll do two more, but we won't do the full sun salutation. We'll just do that little sequence that I just demonstrated. That's called a vinyasa as well. So as you move through the more experienced yoga sessions that I run, then you can choose how many vinyasas you would like to do throughout the practice. And you can do a lot, so it's quite dynamic. Right, so let's all get into downward dog. Or you're staying on your knees if this works for you. Okay, checking in. Inhale, plank position. So you choose your option here. I can't check you out, unfortunately. So choose your options, straight legs or knees to the floor. Coming down, you're either on the floor or stay off the floor. Inhale up, Cobra or upward dog. If you're in upward dog, the legs are strong, heels in. Draw the belly back, downward dog. Okay, let's do one more. Shifting the weight forwards, straight legs or knees to the floor, coming down, Chaturanga. Rolling over the toes if you're doing the upward dog, and draw the belly back, downward dog. Okay, now you can have a rest here, so let's just walk the feet forwards. Both feet hip width apart, and let's hang forwards, bend the legs, so belly, chest on the thighs, take the hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers, and let's take the arms over, let the head relax, then you can keep the legs bent, or you can gradually begin to straighten the legs. And let's turn from one side to the other. We're just pulling back through each shoulder, letting the head relax. Good, and come back to center, release the hands down to the floor, bend the legs, let's roll the body up. Pushing down through the feet, reach the arms up, bring the palms together, bring your feet together, and we're going to step the left foot back. So let's do a couple of standing poses, and then I'll introduce to you also forward bends. So remember your feet, 4 points through each foot. Arches are lifted, lengthen out of the lumbar, palms are together. So let's inhale here, and then exhale, let's just bend that front leg. Okay, you can see your back arch is lifted, I hope. Front arch lifted without the ball of the big toe peeling off the floor. Sinking down here. Now we're going to come into Parsvakonasana. So we check that the ankle's under the knee and the knees facing straight ahead. First option, forearm on the thigh, bringing this front hip back, and we may either rest the hand on the hip, depending on your shoulder, or you might take it up to the ceiling. So your gaze is either straight ahead, down at the floor, or up towards the thumb, which is straight up above the mat. Okay, this is the first option. Second option, if you have a block or a nice big book, place the block on the inside of the front foot. Now push that front knee out as you bring the hips forward. So you're opening up. You want to be opening up through this front hip. And if you think or feel that you don't need a block, you can place the hand flat. If you're really experienced and you just happen to stumble across this beginner's yoga video, then you can come into a full bind. But if you have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry. Good, sinking down, push into that back leg so the power energy is even through both legs and you're not collapsing through the front thigh. Now let's take this top hand to the floor now. Place the other hand on the outside of the front foot, lift that back heel up, and slowly begin to straighten through the front leg. So bring that front hip back so the sacrum stays flat. Blocks if you need blocks. Okay, now if you're a little bit more flexible, you can fold over the front leg. And if you're doing that, you won't need blocks. So let's spend 2 breaths here, lifting and lengthening with every inhale. Exhale, softening in. Don't worry if your front leg is not straight. Breathing in. And exhale, sinking forwards. Now let's bend this front leg and let's stretch out the hip flexors while we're here. So if this is quite strong for you, place the back knee on the floor. Check in that that front ankle's under the knee again, and just gently bring the hips forwards. If you want to go stronger, back knee is off the floor. Just sinking in, just working your way into a nice little hip flexor stretch. Especially valuable if you spend a lot of time sitting. Okay, while we're here, let's twist. So we place that back knee on the floor. Let me face you for this one. We're going to reach the left arm up And we're going to twist over the right thigh. Palms together. Now you don't want to be collapsing onto that front thigh. You want to actually be lifting off the front thigh, pulling that top shoulder back so the top elbow is up to the ceiling, shoulders are back, neck is nice and straight. If this is easy, look down at the floor for your balance and take that back knee off the floor. Strong back leg if you're choosing this option, and lift off the front thigh. And let's place the back knee on the floor, place the hands down, and let's bring this front foot back. So two options here, either resting in child's pose, so one hand on top of the other, forehead on the hand, or you follow me through a vinyasa. Downward dog. Now we choose our option here, either a straight-legged chaturanga or knees to the floor. So let's come into plank first. Squeeze the buttocks, draw the belly in. Now you can choose knees to the floor or keep the legs straight without dropping the hips, come down. You're either on the floor for Cobra or you're off the floor for upward dog. Heels in, and then draw the belly back into downward dog. So that's our vinyasa. So let's everybody now step the left foot forwards in between the hands. Push into that front foot. Let's inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, ground through the back foot and place the hands on the hips. Just while we set ourselves up for the other side, Vajrakanasana. Sinking down, grab your blocks if you need a block. So remember, front heel, if you drew a line, it's going to cut the back foot in half. Ankle under the knee, pushing down and out through the feet, through the legs. Inhale, let's reach up, strong arms. And exhale, forearm on the thigh, top thumb up above the mouth, or rest it on the hip. This might be as far as you choose to go. Second option, hand on the block, and you might place the block in a different position, a little bit higher, a little bit lower, or hand on the floor. So just check in with your foundation. Back arch lifted, front arch lifted. Power in that back leg so you're not dipping out through that front thigh, burning it out. Okay. You want to find the balance. Gently push that knee out as you bring the hips forwards, either looking down, sideways, or up with the chin slightly tucked. Can you hear the sound of your breath? Okay, let's take this top hand to the floor. Place the other hand on the outside, lift the back heel up, bring the front hip back. Take your blocks under the hands if you need to. Sacrum is flat, and we breathe in. Just looking for a little bit of length here, then softening in on the exhale. Don't be surprised if you can't straighten your front leg. This is what you're working towards. Just closing your eyes. Just relaxing as much as you can into this position, into the stretch. And now let's bend that front leg, getting into the hip flexors, so back knee can be on the floor if you did on the other side, otherwise knee off the floor. And just gradually sinking in, breathing your way into the stretch. Just adjust this front foot if your ankle isn't under the knee. You want it to be under the knee. Okay, now let's twist while we're here. So we place that back knee on the floor. And we're going to raise the right arm up, lifting out of the right side of our waist. And we twist over to the left. Palms together and we lift off that front thigh, top elbow to the ceiling as you pull the top shoulder back. This might be as far as you go, looking sideways again, or down if you're a bit wobbly. Those of you taking the back knee off the floor, take it off, keep it strong. So if anything, you lift the hips slightly. You don't want to be dropping into that front thigh. Otherwise, like I said, it'll burn out pretty quickly. So push into that back leg. If the knee's off the floor, lengthen through the crown of the head. 2 more deep breaths. And place the knee on the floor. Good. All right. Now, 2 options. I think you know what they are by now. Child's pose, relax, or follow me. Vinyasa, downward dog. Plank position. You choose straight legs or knees to the floor. Coming into upward dog or cobra. Let's go. Exhale, inhale, and exhale. And let's come onto the knees. All right, so everybody's on the knees. Now I'm going to introduce to you this week as well, forward folds. So you definitely will need a blanket. And let me turn sideways and probably a strap as well. Okay. Now with your blanket or cushion, let's sit on the edge of the blanket or cushion because we want to get the torso, or the pelvis rather, tilted forwards. So if we've got tight hamstrings, this is usually what happens. So shortening through the hamstrings, pulling the pelvis forwards, and we start to slouch. Okay, very common these days on iPads, phones, computers, eating, slouching. Horrible. So what we're trying to do when we come into our forward bends, and actually when we practice yoga full stop, we're trying to get out of these horrible, bad, lazy habits. Right, so forward bends. First of all, we want to be able to sit up straight. And this might be challenging, which is very normal. If you find that it's too strong through the knee area, you can always, probably not a blocks, not that comfortable. You can try it. Or you can grab I'm sure if you're at home, which you will be, grab another blanket or towel, roll up a towel and place it underneath the knees if you have any tension through the knees. Okay, with all the forward bends, they teach us humility. So we're bowing down. We're moving beyond our egos. Okay, we want to become more humble, practice being humble, humility, practicing humility. So have that intention behind coming forwards into your forward folds. Now with your strap or towel or tie, place it around the feet. Now you can see here that my arms are straight. So what we want to try and avoid is this. Inhaling. Is that reinforcing good posture or bad posture? Trick question. This is certainly what we don't want to be doing. So we're trying to retrain our back muscles, get them nice and strong, so they can support us for many, 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 many years without any problems, fingers crossed. So we want to have one strap in each hand, and then we want to lift up through the chest, shoulders are down, and you can feel your back muscles. You will feel your back muscles working. Our legs are strong, so we're actually engaging our quadricep muscles to release the hamstrings, which will take us further into our forward fold. This is enough talking. Let's do it. Breathing in. Strong legs, and exhale. Don't pay attention to where you are or where your head is in relation to your legs. Focus on your breath and the sensations that you're feeling through your back and through your legs. Breathing in again. Exhale. Don't worry if you're not moving any further. Close your eyes. Breathe in through the nose. Let's practice our Ujjayi breath. Keep the legs strong. So drawing up through the quadricep muscles. Inhale, lifting and lengthening. Yes, you will feel your back. That's okay. You're probably training or strengthening muscles that you haven't paid any attention to for a long time. Chin is slightly down. 2 more breaths. And you might even find you can soften a little bit more, keeping the spine straight, keep lifting out of the chest. 1 more breath. And let's inhale, come up. Good. So this is a strong pose, Paschimottanasana, very strong. Now we're going to do Janushirasana. So we bring the right heel in towards the groin. If you find that that knee is up and it's quite strong through the hip, you can always place a block underneath that knee. And let me do it on this side so you can actually see a little bit better. And you can even have it on an angle and it just supports the knee. Okay, or you might have it like that. Now with this foot, ideally try and get it in towards the groin, the heel, otherwise below the knee or just above the knee, but try and avoid pushing into the knee joint. You want to protect your knee joints. Okay, so I'm going to do my right heel first, right leg first. So we lift up again using a strap. Close your eyes so you're not caught up in how far away you are from your leg. Not that that's important. So we breathe in. With your eyes closed, begin to feel your way into your forward fold without collapsing the chest, spine. Shoulders relaxed. And I just want you to focus on the breath. If you can reach your foot, that's fine, but I don't want you to compromise the back to do that. Breathe your way into the stretch. Lifting and lengthening on the inhale, and exhale, softening in. Quieten the mind, slow the breath. And let's inhale, come up. Nice. And let's do the other side. Actually, before we do the other side, let's do a twist, because I know that you'll all be feeling your back muscles engaging, which is a good thing. If you're not feeling any work in your back, then that's probably going to mean that you're not lengthening out and working it as much as you need to. So if you're feeling your back muscles working, excellent. You obviously need to build more strength and stability through the back. So let's twist just to neutralize the spine. So we take this right foot to the outside of the left knee. Now I'm going to turn sideways here. So right foot outside of the left knee. Flex through this front foot, so you've got awareness moving through not just the twist, your spine, but also through the other limbs, all the other limbs in your body as well. So we want to be sitting up straight. This back hand goes behind you. Shoulders are over the hips here. So we lift up first of all. We fill the belly up with our breath. And then on the exhale, we squeeze the belly back and we twist without leaning into that back hand. So there's no leaning into the back hand. Keeping the spine straight. Now when we breathe in, this is when we come out of the twist a little bit. We need to accommodate the breath. And then we exhale, we go further. Squeeze the belly back, go a little bit further. Breathing in. Filling the belly up and exhale. Be curious, how far can you go? Breathing in. How much mobility do you have in your spine? And 2 more, breathe in. Exhale through the nose. Breathing in, working through that front foot. And last one, squeeze the belly back. And let's inhale, come back to center, and exhale, release. Well done. Right, now we're going to come forwards for our next forward fold. Having that humble intention when you come forwards. Strap if you're using the strap. If you don't use the strap, you don't need to. Just have the hands by the side of the body. So we start by lifting up. And then we exhale, close our eyes, and just slowly begin to come into a nice forward fold, engaging the leg. Arms are straight if you're using the strap. We breathe in again, we lift and lengthen. And we exhale, maybe go a little bit further. Breathing in. And allow the body to move. Try and connect to that softness, the fluidity of your breath. Two more breaths. Enjoy it while you're here. And let's inhale, come up. And let's finish off with a little twist. So the left foot to the outside of the knee. Left hand behind you. Sitting up nice and straight. Inhale, fill the belly up, and then exhale, let's squeeze the belly back, and let's see how far we can go on this side. So this will be very interesting for you, especially if there's a bit of a big imbalance happening here. Now remember, when you breathe in, you need to come out of the twist to feel the body up, and then we exhale, we squeeze and twist, draw the belly back, and let's do it again. Really nice way to neutralize the spine. Breathing in, exhale, squeeze and twist. And let's do one more. And squeeze and twist. And let's inhale, come back, and that's it for today's session. An hour goes pretty quickly, for me anyway. Maybe not for you guys. All right, so we're going to make our way back into Shavasana Relaxation. So you can, depending on your back, you can either take your legs up the wall, so buttocks against the wall first, and then legs up. If you would like a little bit more support underneath your thighs, then roll a blanket or a bolster. If you've got a bolster, you can place it underneath your thighs. Letting the feet turn out to the side. And we slowly make our way back into relaxation, palms turned up. Let the feet drop out to the side. You don't need a blanket under your thighs, only if your back is a bit sensitive. And if you've got a book or something, you can even place your hands on your belly. Then place whatever you like on your belly, palms turned up. And let's close the eyes and take a few nice deep breaths here, just melting into the floor. And just remember when we first started our practice today, at the beginning of our practice, when we breathed in, we sent the energy out in all directions, creating the space, the lightness, the presence, connecting to the energy. So you can visualize that happening now as you lie here, breathing in, sending that energy out, opening up. And with every exhale, drawing that back into your core and melting into the floor again.